Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing them mics just like I ran and Jules in. Y'all gonna get done up front and on that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker. It's doing what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish what I started, I'm about that.
Top down all night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down all night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want it, man, I can bring the drama. But it ain't by chance I'm fucking rapping. You don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but the rapper they call me starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down all night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down all night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, a Wednesday edition of Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you, along with Billy Mack, Paul Munson, Quinn Pushkar, pronounced Pushkar, and Jamie Thompson.
Welcome,
Scotty Mincher. Scotty Mincher will be joining us here in a little bit. But first, as we do each and every day, it is a couple days behind, but it's National Candy Day. First question, what is the greatest candy bar out there? And is Reese's Cups considered a candy bar? That's the ongoing discussion. But what's your favorite candy after that? We'll start with you, Billy Mack.
I have two forms of like how I define candy. It's like a fruity flavor, and
That's
then
candy.
and then like a chocolate, like a Reese cup. So I would go like Skittles,
So that's the candy, right?
and then Reese cup. Yeah.
But what my question is that a candy bar? Like, is Reese's a candy bar?
I would consider it a candy bar.
Okay. Respect that. All right, but what is your favorite candy overall after that?
Skittles.
Skittles is your go-to. Okay. Munson with the Chris Collinsworth slide. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, my favorite candy bar of all
Yep.
time is plain Jane as I guess it could be. I'm a Hershey's guy. I love chocolate. Hershey's chocolate.
Just the Hershey's?
Just the regular Hershey chocolate bar with the little bricks. You break them apart. There's actually a name for those little bricks, and I can't remember what they're actually called, but they're called something. But I like sweet tarts too. When you want to talk about like candy things, I remember used to go into the movie theaters, and it used to be in that long like a tube, and you just like have to peel the paper, and the paper would just all the way wrap around. Sweet tarts.
All right. Quinn, I know you've got a list of candy.
Yeah, I enjoy candy as well, and I kind of agree with Billy. Like, I divide my candy like the fruity, sugary kind of thing, and like chocolate and stuff like that. But I mean, I got two favorites. My favorite is a Kit Kat. I love Kit Kats. By all means, I love them. And my second is basically just watching Jeff act like Poe and take the candy. That alone is enough to be good.
Which, by the way, just happened. Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
every day happens.
What's this?
Candy. Michael Pay, here, well, we got just a second, James. We'll get to you. I just need to say that the YSN table is the best thing I've ever seen.
Awesome.
Number one, it's not a table. It's not a table.
Oh no, it's a bag.
It's a sign. It's a sign. But yes, I'm gonna take during the break. I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll show everybody. It's on my social media. Oh my Lanta, there he is, sweet baby Jesus. It is Tony Foster.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, Bulldog?
Hey, is that a picture of me right there?
Yes.
Can figure out
Actually, if you move over just a little bit, that's a better picture of you. Just move over a little bit. Yeah.
Didn't know who the audience was. Oh, sorry. Somebody else was looking at me. Keeping it clean.
Coach, what's your favorite candy?
The Fifth Avenues.
What's in a Fifth Avenue?
Is it Fifth Avenue? No. Reese's. Take 5.
Okay.
The Reese's with the pretzels in it too. Good stuff.
That's a Jamie Thompson answer right there. Weren't you the one, Jamie, that said take 5?
Yeah, Take 5 was great, but had a recent surge because my mom bought the little Twix bars for Halloween. I forgot how good Twix are.
Twix are underrated by far.
Here's a little magic trick for you. If you like if you want to snatch up the Halloween candy before they go, take the candy corn, which I hate those by themselves.
Disgusting.
But get some salted peanuts, mix them together, and it's like a payday. Just a random mix, handful, grab it. It's like magic.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a payday candy bar.
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
who knew? You take something that's absolutely, I mean, because they're probably going for pennies on the dollar right now, the candy corn, because nobody eats that, right?
Yeah, can't stand it by itself, but you mix it together with the peanuts, random mix. Yeah, payday candy bar. It's like
Little known fact, your wife's cousin, niece, was on The Voice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. She'll be back on. She got three chairs to turn. Went with John Legend, and yeah, it's cool stuff.
Very cool, very local. So that's congratulations to her. We'll be rooting for her here from YSN. That is Coach Tony Foster. You're welcome here anytime, Coach.
Hey, thanks, man. I gotta go because my thighs are burning pretty hard. I'm squatting down here to stay in the picture, and these air squats, my body's not built for it anymore.
Let Munson rub them down for you. You'll be back to normal in no time.
I'll pass on that. See you later.
That's head coach of the East Palestine Bulldogs and one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Tony Foster. While Jamie takes a swig of water real fast, Jamie, what is your favorite candy bar? And then what is your favorite candy, period?
Yeah, candy bar, probably going to have to switch to the Twix. Twix is really good. And then candy in general, always been a big Sour Patch Kids guy. I love those.
Dang it. Did you ever see the ones? They make them huge now. They make like big kids or whatever they call them.
Yeah, they're huge. I love them.
They're the best.
Watermelon things.
Watermelon, those are terrible.
Aren't those the ones that Poe keeps like digging around?
I don't know what Poe does. I try not to get inside Poe's.
What's this?
Watermelon. Puh. Mm-mm.
They're called a pip.
A pip?
Yeah, the little bricks on a Hershey bar.
Did you just Google that?
I did.
All right.
It's called a pip.
You are the only person that's ever Googled that.
Yeah, so awesome.
Scotty Mincher, what is your favorite candy bar?
Show today?
What?
Billy said he was going to be on the show today.
Who?
Billy did. Billy sent a text. I'm not going to be on the show either.
Oh.
Nice. Sure.
Hey, Paul, you want to host?
No.
All right. Scotty, what is your favorite candy bar? And then what is your favorite overall candy?
My favorite candy bar. Well, I've been plugging the Fifth Avenue a lot. I really like that one, but I guess if I had to pick another one, I'd go with the Zero bar. Is my other number one. So I go with the Zero bar, and then just as far as favorite candy, I'd probably go. I channel my inner beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. I'm a big Skittles guy, so I go with Skittles.
So 2 Skittles. I'll make it 3. That's my favorite candy ever. Love Skittles, except for when they came out with this zombie edition Skittles, which is complete bunk city. They said it tastes like rotten flesh. Not that I would know what that tastes like. That's disgusting.
I thought the red ones, to me, the red ones, the zombie ones, and the zombie pack tasted like marinara sauce. It was just such a weird taste.
I only do the two familiar ones: the red brand, the original OG, and then the wild berry kind. That's where I stay. That's my lane.
Where's Richie in his Starburst? Yeah. Holy cow. If you've ever seen Richie eat Starbursts, like he came and played almost an entire season of college football, he had a mound of wrappers. Like we needed a full trash bag to put his wrappers in. It was amazing. That and popsicles. The kid he's incredible. Like he just boom, 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 boom. It's
Sunkist, like, or Starkit, whatever they are. They Starburst. They stick to your teeth. You know.
They're taffy.
Yeah, I'm not a taffy guy. Like that stuff just sticking to your teeth. It just feels like you're gonna rip your teeth out of your mouth.
I don't like caramel. My wife swears I'm not American because I don't like caramel. Like caramel creams, I can dig, but like caramel in a candy bar, I'm not big on that. Unless it's Snickers. I like Snickers, which I have to go to Snickers for the #1 candy bar of all time. Like I don't know how you don't. Like that's the best candy bar. It has something of everything. It's false. I mean, it's Snickers is the best, hands down. Laffy Taffy, Mardell saying Laffy Taffy. I can never get behind Taffy. I'm with Paul. I don't like the way it feels, but I do like Starburst because I don't even bite into them.
That's crazy. As a kid, like when you have Laffy, because I had braces as a kid. So like when I was a kid, like that was one of the things you can't have that.
What about popcorn? You can't have popcorn, right?
Yeah, I'm not a huge popcorn guy anyway.
Biggest popcorn guy I know, Steve Leslie.
Oh, loves it.
Could eat it anytime, anywhere, as long as there's a microwave. He might even use fire. Like, I'm not sure that Steve could start a fire, but he would figure it out for the popcorn.
If Steve started a fire, he'd burn the house down.
Steve, start fire! I just see him with
have popcorn.
He puts the war paint on and no shirt on. Steve, what are you doing? Oh, Steve,
butter.
start fire!
It'd be butter. He put butter across here. Fire it up.
Oh, and Mac, you might know this random thing. We're talking about the war paint. If you take a cork from like a wine bottle and you light it on fire and you char it, you can use that as charcoal for like your eye black. We did that in college. One of the coolest things I ever learned in college. Not worth $120,000.
And dude, was it worth all that tuition?
Dude, I quickly changed my stance when I started paying my student loans. I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing I learned in college. Look what I can do!" Like stuff you can do in kindergarten. My mom just kind of looked at me. She's like, "You are very." Oh yeah, look at this. Carrie dropping a nuke. Worst candy ever. Circus peanuts. Yes.
If they're fresh, they're really good. See,
Like-
and like I like, and that's weird. I mean, I'm sometimes the abnormal to this. I love circus peanuts. My grandma got me hooked on those. And if it's fresh, again, like Tony said, I know he said they're terrible by themselves, but I do like candy corn. I like candy corn if it's fresh. If it's old and it's stale, they're garbage. But if they're fresh,
How can you tell the
good, they're
difference?
chewy.
They don't change.
Yeah, they do.
And first off, I mean, who's ever had fresh candy corn?
Yeah, Olivia too.
I like candy corn, so
Thank you, Billy.
I mean I do. And they came out with not too long ago. They came out with the peanut butter flavored kind of candy corn, where it was like orange and brown. Those ones are even better.
Like I said,
You just
the
like
little
it because it
pumpkins,
matches your beard.
When they come out with the little pumpkin ones, those are good too.
What's a whatchamacallit?
You never had a whatchamacallit?
I mean, I've had probably one of everything. I've got type 2 diabetes, and there's a reason behind that. But I don't remember what the hell it was. And obviously they don't either, or else they wouldn't call it a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it was like it was chocolate, had like a Rice Krispie kind of thing in it.
Oh, like the crunch?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, it's a crisp rice candy bar.
yeah, it was good.
Mardell's on my side with this. Candy corn is terrible.
It's okay.
I mean-
there is no in between. You either hate it or you love it.
See, but I take that back because I do, like, if there's no other candy in the house and like it's Halloween time, it's never in my house, but it was in my mom's house all the time. Like, I'll eat it. Again, I showed you guys that picture. I was 225. There's a reason for that. And a lot of it, I'm not saying it was candy corn, but I'm saying it didn't help the cause. So, So a good way to start the show, National Candy Day. We got to talk about that. Now we are on to something to talk about here with South Range. Three's Company, South Range versus Kirtland, boys. We're playing in soccer for boys, soccer for girls, and then Saturday night, the main event, football. These two teams meet. Can there be such a thing as a postseason rivalry? Because these two teams probably popular contrary to popular belief, that one always stumps me. These teams will never play in the regular season. It just doesn't make sense for either one of them to do so. I mean, can you have a postseason rivalry? And is this the epitome of it when you play 3 times in 4 days? Paul, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. You know, I mean, the boys, they come to here tonight. The boys' game's here tonight at South Range at 7. You know, the girls won an awesome game last night with like 30 seconds left to go. They had a goal to win 2-1 to set up the Kirtland matchup on Saturday. I think it's at 1 o'clock is when that game is. 1 or 3, one of the two, I can't remember. And then the football game, you know, on that. I mean, I think it could be one of those things. You know, Springfield Mogador is another one. Like they meet in the playoffs a lot, and that's kind of a rivalry for them a little bit because they've met each other a handful of times. This will be for football. This will be the 4th time that these two teams have met, and I mean, it's the way they're looking at it. You got to go through that division. You got to go through one of those 2 schools. So I think it's great. Yeah, like Coach Seidel saying, that says something about their athletic departments that, you know, these 2 schools athletically are producing great athletes to get this far. Regional semi for the boys, regional championship for the girls, regional championship for the football team. So, you know, to meet one team and to see 2 teams go at each other in 3 different sports, that's pretty awesome. I think it's great.
This doesn't happen a whole lot, does it? I mean, Billy Mack, think about all. I mean, obviously you're Newton Falls grad, but you're dedicated to Ursuline and have affiliations with a couple different schools. Is this something that we're going to see more and more as we move along? Are we going to see more teams just battling out in multiple sports at the regional and state level?
Yeah, I do. I think so because of the division expansions for a lot of these sports. I think there's too many divisions, and I think what happens is it benefits. Like I used to remember Wyndham and Garrettsville going at it for years in regional everything. It seemed like in a small division. So, and even though they played in the same conference and then didn't play in the same conference, so that was their rivalry, and it happened to be their postseason rivalry. What we're talking about here. So. I think it's going to happen more and more with schools because of the expansion of playoffs and expansion of divisions. So, yeah, I do.
Quinn, when you look at this, I mean, when you talk about the expansion that's happening, do you like the idea of seeing the same team? I shouldn't say same team, the same school over and over again? And at the end of the day, should there be I don't want to say a rivalry, but wouldn't it be cool to see, you know, let's say YSN cover all 3 games and we have like a count, you know what I mean? The best 2 out of 3 kind of wins the series and something special happens. Is that something you'd want to see?
I mean, the odds of it happening are slim, I guess. I mean, it speaks volumes to how good each team is, whatever sport they're doing. I mean, in our case of South Range and Kirtland, I mean, it speaks to how good South Range has had with their boys soccer, girls soccer, and football program, as well as Kirtland. I mean, the odds of it happening again, I mean, you never know. I would say it's probably slimmer to have it happen again than it would be to have it happen again.
Jamie, if this was you and you were in the athletic department or athletic director's seat, would you want to maybe take this postseason rivalry, so to speak, and turn it into possibly something that has or will happen during the regular season, maybe the next year or 2?
You know, I mean, it is tough to try and translate that to the regular season because if you already have a tough schedule like South Range does being in the NEA, you really don't want to put Kirtland on your schedule and try and knock down the record with that. But, you know, the postseason rivalry thing, I think it's great to have. You know, you can look at it from kind of multiple aspects. If you're on the boys soccer team and you're on the football team, do you want to play Kirtland first? I mean, it's kind of cool to see that. But at the same time, you want to face people that you've never seen before. I think it's definitely something you have to roll with. I mean, 3 different games, all in the regional finals. That's awesome.
It's funny because, Scotty, when you think about when the season began, you know, South Range is looking to Kirtland in football. We don't know what they're looking to in soccer, but you know that your teams eventually have to cross paths at some point to get where you want to go. Do these teams, can they develop a friendly rivalry, or is this something where you just kind of leave it out there one game at a time and talk to your kids about, we're just going to play our game, and if we play them, we play them. If we don't, who cares? Or is this something for the kids to get excited about? Because it seems like Kirtland's pretty jacked up about playing South Range. Do they know what they're in for?
I think as a coach, I mean, you have to kind of find that medium to where you just focus on it as the next game. But I think it also, in a case like this where they're meeting in the postseason and there's a chance it could become a rivalry, I think it's kind of the thing where behind closed doors, maybe the coach, lets them get a little more jacked up and motivated than usual. But I think publicly when you're speaking, you gotta just have to go by the old cliche, one game at a time, one moment at a time. But I like a nice. I think to go back to your earlier question, I think you can develop a rivalry in the postseason, and I really like that idea.
I like it too. I think it's always interesting. I mean, there's regular season rivals and there's postseason rivals in college and in major league or professional sports. But then you see it become a regular season rivalry. I mean, you look at the Steelers and the Ravens. You look at I'm a Pittsburgh fan naturally, so you look at the Penguins and the Capitals and all that. I mean, it just is a little bit sweeter when you end somebody's season, right? That's just the way it goes. When you can end their season and they're a formidable foe, it's just something really enticing about beating somebody like a Kirtland and then ending their season and moving on knowing you beat one of the best teams in the state. And they are, they are one of the best teams in the state, but so are we. So
I don't ever foresee, I don't want to say never, because you never know, never is not a real thing, but more likely never than likely that these guys would play in a regular season game. It just doesn't make any type of sense ever to do. From a coach's standpoint, it just doesn't make, from a logistics standpoint, the travel and all the other things that could come into play. It's not a likely thing to happen. But postseason-wise, this is pretty neat.
And answer me this question, and you can call me whatever you want, a coward, a chicken, but realistically, what do you have to gain if you win, and what do you have to lose if you lose? So you play, let's say, if we go back to 10-game seasons, and you play Kirtland, if you're South Range, at some point in those first 3 games, if you lose, your season's pretty much toast, no?
Yeah, so basically you go to computer points. You're really looking at like who does Kirkland play secondary points to try to advance you on a traditional year, of course. So they play an okay schedule for the most part. There are a lot of D4, D5 schools, so you're not going to get a whole bunch. It's not like they're sitting there playing D2 schools.
They play D1.
They do play some D1s, but depending on what type of D1 you're playing, and it's secondary points. It's not like you being a D1. So to me, it's just not worth it. Chances are it's going to be a real tough battle. The problem is what happens when you're that A spot or that 12 spot for coming up and you're tied with Kirkland. Well, guess who gets that advantage? You're in the same division, you're in the same region, you're out. So, and South Range has a very tough path to get to the playoffs every year because they are in a hard conference for their size. So,
and I thought the same thing. And Billy, we had the conversation in the pre-show. I mean, if you lose, it probably costs you a playoff spot if you don't win out the rest of your games. And let's be honest, the NE8 and a lot of the conferences around here, if you lose one of those games, you're already looking at being eliminated.
It's not really a coward thing either. It's just hey, we're trying to be smart. We're trying to get to the playoffs. I mean, that's the goal. Your goal should be try to win your league, get to the playoffs, and then try to go win a state championship and probably in some of those orders. So this pretty much, if you lose, it's going to hurt you. Okay, it's going to hurt you, and you're probably going to carry. It'd be better off for Kirkland to get to book South Range than it would be for the other way around. Secondary points, they would get a whole bunch from South Range if they happen to win. So it just doesn't. I wouldn't do it.
Kirtland.
No, they're not a YSN school, so I don't care.
Well played. Very well played. All right. Quick, we want to get to this one because we didn't get to this yet this week. It was Monday, I believe. They came out and said that the OHSA football championships will be in Fortress, I want to say, Obitz?
Obitz. Yep.
That's just outside of Columbus. If you look at the stadium, it's 8,500 is capacity, and it's one side. And it's known more for what they do from an event standpoint. So it literally looks like a fortress. It looks like something where LARPing would occur. And that's I've seen it on the website, so that's not just a poke. But you have live action role playing that happens. You have soccer. They can basically maneuver it and manipulate this fortress to be whatever they want it to be. My question is, number one, do you like it? And number two, is this just another move by the OHSAA to take the money from the school's pocket and keep it in their pocket? Because I got to believe it's a lot less costly than Tom Benson Stadium in Canton. Muntz, you and I talked about it. We'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things about that stadium down there. You know, if you haven't seen it, I encourage people to go Google it, look at it. It does look kind of cool when you walk into the stadium. You walk into this 4-walled like fortress area kind of thing, and then you walk through that, and then there's the stadium, and it's huge. And it used to be a racetrack. It used to be a racetrack that was there, and then they took it over, and I think rugby's played there. They play some high-end soccer there as well. I have a couple problems with it. I mean, I know that they moved the games to Columbus last year and the year before.
From Columbus to here.
Well, it used to be in Columbus. Then it came up here, but they moved back there when Benson Stadium was getting renovated and stuff. So they
wasn't in Columbus last year? Or it wasn't in Canton last year?
I don't think that stadium was done last year. They were still working on it.
No, it was done.
Was it done?
Yeah,
I mean, I know they moved them. They moved them back there
last
recently.
Year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, because that's where Gerard was.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I know they're probably getting a great deal, like we talked about, privately. I think they're probably getting a steal of this to go down there and stay right in Columbus. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to pay for travel for their workers. They don't have to pay for hotels and all that other stuff. My thing is, and I commented on this on social media about it, the stands are all on one side.
Yep.
And the reason that Cheney and East didn't play football games this year at home, their stands were on one side. The athletic director there said, or the CEO of Youngstown City Schools said, you can't separate the fans. They worried about that. And then everything, fans on one side, fans on the other side, let's get this done. And they are going to put 1,500 people in those stands. And they're going to, I mean, you tell me how they're going to do that. Are they going to have somebody at every row saying, you can sit here, you can sit there, you can sit there? I mean, it's just, to me, I find it to be a little ridiculous. It's like, listen, you've got this beautiful stadium up here in Canton that they've renovated, and it is unbelievable if you haven't seen it since they got everything done. Enough that they bring NFL football games there every single year when we could. Why wouldn't you do that again? You can't tell me that Tom Benson Stadium wouldn't say, listen, we'll cut you a deal so that you guys can stay here.
Oh, there's deals being cut right now. I don't know if you're don't be confused here. There's deals being cut right now. That's why do you think Coach is trying to make this game, or is making this game here happen? Somebody's getting either paid on the side or they're getting cut a break to where they can keep money in their pockets.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. But I think Tom Benson could do the same thing up there. Canton could say, listen, we'll cut you guys a deal. Keep it here. Because the thing is, think of all the money, the revenue that is going to get lost with all that happening. Maybe millions of dollars of hotels, restaurants, gas stations, all that stuff is going to lose money because you're not having those here. You're going to have them down there. And basically, it is a nice facility, but if you look at it, it looks like it's just in a big field. There's a big field with a stadium, not even really a stadium. It's just a field with some bleachers.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to convince me. I mean, this is the worst run organization in the state of Ohio. So, in my opinion,
I mean,
and they're proving it time and time again.
It's about dollars. I mean, they're a business. We're a business. I'm not going to sit here and poke fun at it.
Right,
but
they never came out and said this is about business. They've always tried to say this is about safety and this is about other issues.
Exactly.
Behind that issue.
Everybody knows what it's about, Billy. You can say what you want. Anybody can. The OHSAA can. It's not what you say; it's how you act. And reality is, this place might be beautiful, but every time I see it, it's on a soccer field. They've got a soccer field laid down with goalposts up for football. And I sit there and I think to myself, there's a football atmosphere when you enter Tom Benson Stadium. You're walking next to the Hall of Fame, right? The place where the greatest treasure, arguably in Ohio for pro football, is in the country is right next door. You get to go, and the kids can go, and they can do the Hall of Fame because they never may do that in their life again.
That's where football started.
Yeah, and that's where football should be. And to take it back away from Canton to put it in Columbus because of safety precautions, but you're going to use one side of the bleachers, and there's actually less seating, if I'm not mistaken, than at Tom Benson Stadium.
Yeah,
it doesn't add up.
Too.
Can we just look at the places that they could potentially pick from if we just go to the obvious, right?
Cleveland Brown Stadium.
You take all the max colleges, right, that nobody's playing on right now. You take the pro stadiums. You take Ohio State. There's all kinds of colleges in between. I mean, there's plenty of stadiums that are potentially available, and this is what they come up with. I mean, this is just half-assed, my opinion.
Matt Seidel saying the AA has lost so much credibility over the past 10 months. This is just the next thing on the list, and I've got to believe that he's not the only one that feels that way, and neither are we. Jamie, when you look at this from a top-down perspective, I mean, does it make sense? Even just reading through it, does it even say, man, that sounds cool? That's why I would rather have it there than in Brown Stadium or the Horseshoe or Tom Benson Stadium, Cincinnati. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it really doesn't. I'm looking at the pictures here. I looked at them when I saw it. Dana tweeted it. I automatically looked it up. It's not a football field. It's really not. This does not give me the vibe of a state championship game in any sense of it. The only thing that it really comes down to is the capacity is 6,500. If they're looking to fit 1,500 in, that's about 23% capacity. If you'd have it at Tom Benson, you can only get about 6.5 capacity in there. So like you said, it comes down to business, it comes down to cost, and that's what they're doing. I don't think anyone's surprised.
But all that being said, James, they're not even allowed to have 15%. It's 15% or 1,500, whatever comes first.
Yeah, whichever one is.
Which doesn't make any sense because you could just rent out any, like Billy said, you can rent out any college stadium in the state of Ohio and have 1,500 people in it. That's why
you spread them out. You go to the Horseshoe and they're spread out.
Go to Cleveland Brown Stadium. I gotta believe that they can use this as a write-off for Cincinnati. What is it, Paul Brown Stadium, or Massillon, or anywhere. Tom Benson Stadium was chosen for a reason. We know there's a lot of background that probably isn't being brought to light about this, because we know one guy that is no longer at the OHSAA that loved games being held in Canton because that's the birthplace of football, as Paul said. I think this is a little bit of one of these to him as well. And Quinn, when you look at this, I mean, if you're a coach and you're up for a state championship, would you rather play at a recreational field or would you rather play at a pro-style stadium, so you have the stories, or college Division I stadium that you have the stories that you can have the rest of your life?
That's tough because me personally, I don't care where we play. I want to win state. I don't care. I want to win state. I don't care what the stadium is. I want to win the trophy. That's what people are going to remember, not where it was played.
I would say they should.
I'd rather play at the Hall of Fame than this soccer field that they're playing at.
You should play on some of these high school fields are pretty nice. I mean, you should play on a field or a stadium that is equal or equivalent to a normal high school field at least. And it doesn't seem like this. It doesn't even seem like this would be like podunk place that we've never heard of, Ohio small Division 7 school would play at this place. They have better stadiums than this.
I get where you're coming from.
Why are they not playing in the Horseshoe? You're coming down to Columbus.
Money. Ohio State would probably charge them an arm and a leg.
This place probably cost $1,000 a game for them to rent out.
Yeah, I would bet that, DJ. That's a pretty good assumption. I mean, they're probably getting this for pennies on the dollar. I'd like to know who owns it. That's what I think. Who owns it?
Well, it's in their About Me page.
You know, is that somebody who's associated with the OHSAA that says, "Hey, listen, you know, the old buddy system"?
Like I said, somebody's getting paid on this deal.
You know, why don't you come use my stadium, and I get the revenue from whatever, food, parking, anything like that.
It's probably a Google search away.
I'm looking right now.
You know, but I mean that would be interesting to find out, because you know there's always those little backdoor deals, like Billy said, that somebody's getting, you know, their palms greased somewhere because of who it is.
I mean, they host concerts, they host soccer, they host rugby. Rugby's huge down in Columbus, in case you didn't know, but they host football. But my biggest thing, guys, is
probably lacrosse too.
Yeah, but you just look at it and you just, I mean, it's surrounded by grass, but it's an AstroTurf field, and it doesn't just like. The only thing I can compare it to, and I feel bad even saying this, is
it's not even grass turf. It's a old school AstroTurf.
It looks like old school AstroTurf is what it looks like. And I gotta say this. Do you like when we used to do the YYFFA games in Mill Creek, and we shot down from the hill? That's what this reminds me of, because you can only sit on one side of the field, and
it's like going to the county fair. And think of how fairgrounds were set up.
Yes, it's like the Canfield Fair band or grandstand. Yep. You're not getting two sides. You're just getting straight down. They have their reserve seats, and the press box doesn't look that big.
Oh, it's one level.
So when you think about this, if one of our teams makes it to the championship game, we're already not allowed to stream it, because the streaming is by Spectrum.
And radio is going to be hard to do.
And we can't do audio, I'm assuming, because there's bigger press boxes at our fields right now.
Yeah. We'd have to literally be on the other side of the stadium on the grass and set up a table.
No, I don't think that, Paul. I think what they'll do is they'll probably add a tent either to the top or put it below where the audio can come in, radio can come in. But I mean, that's a big game to not have media for.
Yeah, and it's going to be cold. You're going to be in the elements. I mean, this is like the dump. Like I said, there's got to be a good reason, and we all know it's money. But I'd love to know who's getting paid, because we think of Tom Benson Stadium, especially after they've done the renovations to it. There's like 3 levels of press box there. And it's like from the 20 to the 20. I mean, it's huge. I mean, you could go in there and do calisthenics if you wanted to in those press boxes. And like, this thing looks like it's a shoebox.
You get lost in there.
I'm trying to figure. I saw it. Well, here's the other thing that frustrates me. And listen, we knew going into the playoffs that some of our teams would gain traction with the media, and that's fine. That's why we're here. We're here. From start to finish, we will do whatever it takes. But the news that has slowly been trickling out that we haven't formally announced yet, we'll just announce right here on the show. We'll have a graphic later today. We will not have video coverage, streaming coverage of Canfield versus Chardon, because Spectrum has chosen this game as one of their featured games. So what we're doing is we will have audio coverage. Richie and Gary will take that, and it'll be absolutely free. We want Canfield to tune in and support their boys and Coach Pav and the entire staff. So we're going to do this game absolutely free, no charge. But I will say this, we're going to still have it as part of the Power Play package, because if you want to buy in at $9.99, you want that money to go to Canfield. right? So if you want to watch the other 4 games on our network, or playoff games, then a few other regular season games for $9.99, we still want that opportunity for Canfield to be part of that, so the money still goes to the Cardinals and their athletic department. So that's the way it's going to go. You don't have to buy it. It'll be free on Friday night, but in the case that you do, you can still jump into the power play, and that money will go to Canfield High School Athletic Department. I think that's the best way to do it. We kind of went a couple different ways on this, and obviously, there's going to be some people that are frustrated because they're buying in for Canfield, but they're watching the other. But that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, you're going to get some really good games, though. There's some really good ones to watch this weekend. So
yeah, and we've got it the other 4.
It's worth it. It's worth it, people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we have no problem with you listening to the game, and that's all you. But I mean, if you're going to watch the other ones anyway, you might as well get Canfield or your team, if your team's Canfield, that money. You know what I mean? So they can still be a part of this. So that's what we're doing. We apologize for any inconvenience. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a link also on our site to OHSAA or Spectrum or wherever that is. They're charging $10 for the game as well. With that purchase, you will not get the YSN Power Play. You will just get that game. That is completely separate from what we do. So just letting it all hang out, so to speak, in regards to that. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got some things to talk about. Would you invite a player of AB's caliber, both on and off the field, into your locker room if you were a player or a coach? And of course, we will have our G. Berbick Farms What's Your Beef. I'm actually going out to G. Berbick Farms after the show today to buy the 50-pound box of ground beef that he's got going on right now. A great sale. So make sure you make your appointment.
I need to know how much is it.
I don't know. I just give him my credit card and I say ring it because
Let us know, Greg.
Greg, put it up. How much is a box of 50-pound ground beef?
When he comes, scan 2. I'll be back later.
Press box look like it fits 8 socially, and that's what makes me nervous because we've been pushed out of press boxes already this postseason. A little bit nervous for. But I promise you this, I don't care if we've got to rent tables or rent a crane, we will be there some way, shape, or form.
Scissor lift out there at this baby.
We'll get Coach DeVries out there. He knows where to get a scissor lift, so we'll make sure we have that. Stay tuned. More YSN Power Hour coming up right after the break. Appreciate you being with us, and this break brought to you by, of course, G. Berbick Farms.
Hello, I'm Greg Berbick with G. Berbick Farms.
We're still here.
Hello, I'm Greg Berbick with G. Berbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gberbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Berbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Good evening, and
thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top
More
stories
experienced
reporters. A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
Telling more local stories. We'll look at
Jimmy Boy is recovering from a broken
around our
Good
valley.
afternoon. We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect
Important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County Court.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior sidings, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, You'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Welcome back to the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. And before we get to any other topics, I promised you a picture of the new sign. And there it is, folks, right down the middle. Shout out to First Down Designs. Great work. Look at that. That thing is going to be sweet, 3-dimensional. I wish I could zoom in on them. It's handmade. And I'll tell you what. That's going to go right over here on the wall, right above the YSN Live football jersey. So
there's a nice table.
It's not a table.
I thought it was a table too when I first saw it, and then I started looking. I'm like, all right.
We can do some like cards, like when we're sitting around play some cards.
We already have a table that was made by Paul Munson and Paul Munson's father-in-law that you can play cards. All the cards you want, Billy.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that one.
It's that big ass wood table that's in there. It's got YSN burned on the top of it.
It's got YSN burned on it. I didn't see that one.
Yep.
It's the one that always holds all the food. That's why I didn't see it.
What's this?
What's this? What have we
Somebody
got
knows
over
that
here?
table really well.
All right, guys, something to talk about. We got to catch up on some comments here. Yeah, that is legit. You're damn right, Aaron. Look at this. So good. Looks really nice. Maction is back tonight. And can I put my coffee on that table when I... No, Matt. Billy, look what you did. It's not a table. It's not a table. But yes, you can put your coffee on the table that Paul Munson created and his father-in-law that is so beautiful inside of our headquarters, Matt.
You know what's great? Coach Seidel is Coach Seidel last night said he would be my campaign manager if I ever decided to run for office, which would be fantastic. But it's important to have multiple YSN tables at YSN, so it's going to be a nice addition.
It's not a table. And
it's
if
a
you
wall table. How about that? It's a wall table.
Yeah. You gingers do everything backwards and sideways anyway, so I guess it could be a table. So, all right, let's go. This one is going to be interesting because I think that there's a lot of stuff that you can talk about in regards to Antonio Brown. Being a Steelers fan, the level of talent a guy like him brings to the table, but the character seems to be always in question. If you're a coach or you're an number one leader on a football team, baseball team, whatever it is, would you let an Antonio Brown type player in your locker room? Yes or no? And please explain. Let's start with Scotty.
I say yes. I let him in the locker room, and I think when you're a coach, DJ, especially at a high level, I think every one of these coaches have egos. So if I was one, it'd be no different. And I just think as a coach, you try to, work with that player and tame that beast and work through his issues and the issues that he could present. But I just think overall the goal is to win. And if you could get a great player like that, it may not work out. It may come to bite me in the ass at the end, but I think I'm working as hard as I can to work and win with that player and tame the beast inside him.
All right, so let's go over to Jamie. Jamie, this is an interesting topic. At the high school level or any level, I don't care if it's even, I don't think you have many Antonio Browns in T-ball, but at any level, are you letting this guy in your locker room?
I think, 100%, no doubt about it. I got to go ahead and bring him in if I think he's going to give me a better chance to go out and win a championship. When he was with Tom Brady, one game they played, 8 targets, 4 catches, 56 yards for a touchdown. The production is there. We know Antonio Brown's a great player. Worst comes to worst, you got to get rid of him. Just like the Ravens did with Earl Thomas. It's not that hard to just cut him out.
Quinn, you letting a guy like this on your squad?
Absolutely. He's going to help me win. And, let's be honest, I'm a Browns fan, so if it's the Browns I'm talking about, it's a shit show anyway. Why not?
Okay.
Come on. We had a guy that liked getting pooped on. What's the difference with Antonio Brown? Come on. Bring him in.
Do you echo that, Mac?
So this is a scenario based. I don't like this one. No, I don't take him in if I'm Tampa Bay, just because you got some issues going on with that locker room anyway. Tom Brady and head coach and office doesn't seem to be on the same page at times. You know, you don't know if it's fourth down. You're upset about not going for it on fourth down when it's fourth and inches. I mean, those are plays that are in the game and quarter. You know, Tom Brady wants to make those decisions, and he had those types of control with New England, and he doesn't seem to have that. There's other kind of little issues with people getting the ball, and now you're going to add another superstar who wants the football all the time. I don't like it. I think it's too much. They don't need them. They don't need Antonio Brown to win the Super Bowl this year. That's why I would say, why would you take him if he's only going to be an issue? He's had issues in the past. Nothing has changed since now till then, so I just wouldn't take him.
Muncie, your thoughts on bringing an Antonio Brown type guy for his talent and his character?
I agree with Billy, but on a different way of it. I would say I would not bring him in if my team has good chemistry and they're gelling and they're playing well together. I would not bring a guy like that in. If your team's already even if your team's doing mediocre, but you've got good chemistry there, things are going to get figured out. You're going to work it out. Why bring somebody in who's going to be a cancer to your team? On the flip side, to where Billy was saying, if Tampa Bay's already kind of a shit show and they're trying to figure things out and they're all screwed up, what the hell? Hey, let's bring another one in. Who really gives a shit? And let's just roll on it. You know, because how much worse can it get? You are winning games. Yeah, you got a bunch of superstars there, but, you know, now try to win some more. You throw another guy in there. My thing is like a team like Pittsburgh. I'll use Pittsburgh because I know that's a fan favorite here, but they are a team that does things by the book. You know, that somebody screws up there, out you go. See you, Brown. See you, guy. Listen, and they just keep rolling. And listen, they're a constant year after year. So you have a poison like that in your team, get it out. But if you're a team that is like, listen, if you're the Jets or, you know, somebody like that, or the Giants, or who cares? Bring this guy in. Maybe he helps you win a little bit. Tampa Bay, you guys already don't know how to figure out what's going on. You got way too many big heads in that room already. What the hell? Add another one. See if you can make a one-year run and get down.
That's it. You nailed it right on the head. That last sentence said it all. They're going for one title. They're going for one championship so Tom Brady can prove that it wasn't about Bill Belichick. It was about Tom Brady. Because, and I think it was, I'm trying to remember the person that said it, but he said it perfectly. And he said, when's the last time you saw a jockey carry the horse across the finish line in a horse race? It's always been about the quarterback. I don't want to take away from Bill Belichick, but it's always been about the quarterback. But here's my thing.
Can go for one Super Bowl.
But the Browns haven't. So how bad do you think that's got to be? So if you're looking at it from a perspective of a teammate, okay, Antonio Brown's to me, he's the best receiver to ever live. He is. Whether he has the statistics, I think he's better than anybody that's ever played the game. I just do. And that's my humble opinion. That's fine. You don't agree with me, but I think he's better. I still wouldn't bring him in my locker room given what he's done. He couldn't cut it with the Raiders after that whole ESPN follows him around at Derek Carr's house. He hugs him. Then he goes to New England, and something happened there. He lived with Tom Brady the way Sid Crosby lived with Mario Lemieux. It was a weird situation. And the dude just doesn't cut out. He soils locker rooms. But if you're Tampa Bay, you got to do it. Because if you haven't realized, this is a 1-year thing. They're going all in 1 year, and then it's going to be like the Florida Marlins. They're breaking it up. They're starting all over. Because that's what they do in Florida. They just go and wreck shit and then pick up the pieces after. So I think it's going to be interesting. If I'm a coach, if I'm a high school coach, I'm not letting a kid like that in my locker room, no matter the talent level, because it's all about, and I forget who said it, so forgive me, it's all about molding young men or young women at that point. You're molding character because at the end, winning's great, don't get me wrong, but you want them to win down the line and have more success, because at the end of the day, if a state championship or one game is all they remember about their high school, they're missing out on a lot, personally speaking. I mean, there's a lot more days in your high school than one. Should that be one of your premium memories? Yes. But should it cost your team or whatever? No, I just don't think so. So we got some comments catch up on. I knew that would muster a lot of attention from Browns fans.
The fact that you would say AB is the greatest wide receiver ever is ridiculous. Like when you think of talent meets numbers, you think Randy Moss all day. And Randy Moss is the most talented wide receiver of all time, and he has the numbers to back it up. And it's not even close.
Billy, he didn't play for Pittsburgh. That's why.
That's also true.
Oh, is that it?
I'll give you this. Antonio was on his way till Burfict decapitated him.
And I read that too, and I've spoken about it. Yes, I think that he got messed up, but I think he was the greatest pure receiver to ever play the game.
He was
Period. End of story.
I think there's better.
I think there's way better.
Let me put it this way. Antonio Brown can take over a game by himself. Randy Moss could not.
In Pittsburgh, yes.
No. Well, yeah. What's the other opportunity? Oakland?
Well, he kept playing.
Dude's loco. Like
what do you mean? What do you mean Randy Moss couldn't take over a game?
Randy Moss couldn't take over a game by himself, by his lonesome.
He forgets the 3 reception, 170-some yard game that he had with 3 touchdowns.
I mean, look at the highlight reel of Antonio Brown versus Randy Moss.
Yeah, look at it.
Play with a Big Ben for more than 1 year.
What?
Are you saying that Randy Moss can't take over a game?
I am.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
He can't.
I'm just saying, Antonio Brown.
So disrespectful.
Culpepper.
What's that?
He did with Dante Culpepper.
Sure did.
And Randall Cunningham. Old Randall Cunningham.
Josh Gordon, but I'm not making the
And
case.
John Kitna.
I mean, say what you want, but I mean,
he had 2 good years with 2 good quarterbacks.
Is Randy Moss in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Forgot.
First ballot.
Whoops. Not going to win too many debates with that one. Nice job, Yoakley.
I'll give you that, though, DJ. He was on his way. I think he could have been if he obviously didn't get decapitated.
DJ, are you? No, I'm not high, Betos.
Can't you kind of look at it this way? I mean, don't you feel as if this would be the second chance for AB? Because he messed up in Oakland, there's no doubt about it. This is his second chance. So you're telling me you wouldn't take a chance on a guy that has all this talent? Where it can hurt you extremely. We'll take Alden Smith this year. He had multiple DUIs. He claimed he had a bomb in a freaking airport. The Cowboys brought him in. He's played extremely well. What's to say that AB can't do that? He's messed up in the head. Alden Smith was messed up in the head. Somebody has guided him to get back to where he needs to be. Tom Brady has taken AB under his wing. He's going to be an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler again. I promise you that. AB has all the talent in the world.
But I think Tom Brady sees, okay, listen, if I can get this idiot track for 10 games, I can win another ring, prove that I'm the greatest quarterback of all time, that I didn't need Bill Belichick. And then after the season's over, it's snip, see ya, AB. Hopefully you're not in a trash can somewhere scrounging for bones. He cares less about that guy after the season would be over. I guarantee it.
I feel like this is more against Belichick as a GM than it is him as a coach.
How so?
Tampa's bringing in guys and giving him guys to throw to. Belichick never did. Like Tampa brought in Gronk. Tampa's bringing in AB.
No. This is about Tom Brady's running the show down in Tampa.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it like compared to Belichick as a coach and Belichick as the GM, I think it's more against him as a GM.
This is how the Tom Brady search went. Hey, can I run this team? No. Okay, see ya. Hey, can I run this team? No. Okay, see ya. Hey, Tampa Bay, you are a shit show. Can I run this team? Sure.
Hey, I'm bringing in my buddy Gronk.
Yeah, I got Gronk. He's in the WWE right now, but he's a 24/7 champion. Just wrestled in WrestleMania, but he'll come down and play with me.
Hey, you guys have a dock, right? We're gonna bring that cruise ship he was on and just dock it right here in the bay.
You housed Antonio Brown? Okay, I can bring him and we can play some backyard football. Oh, I got 3 other receivers I can throw to. Here's my other point about Randy Moss while I'm at it. Randy Moss was a number 2 receiver for a long time because he had Chris Carter next to him.
Hall of Famer
for a year.
Just saying.
For 1 year.
Just saying.
One year when he was a rookie.
Just saying.
There's a lot of damn wide receivers out there that are
just saying
better than Antonio Brown.
I don't think so.
Jerry
Personally,
Rice, I mean, come on.
Jerry Rice, yes, absolutely. But I think Antonio, pound for pound, if I'm going on a game-winning drive, I want Antonio Brown over Jerry Rice over Randy Moss.
I want a 6'5" guy who can run faster than anybody at the position and can leap out of the freaking stadium. Taking Randy Moss all day.
AB is going to get open. AB always gets open, man.
That's my thing, is if he was that good, he would have won a Super Bowl championship with that New England team with Tom Brady.
That was one lucky catch away from winning it.
Whoops. He was one lucky catch away from winning it himself. Whoops. Whoops. I know Antonio Brown doesn't have a championship. I know that they were destined for a championship, but he went nuts. He went crazy. He went nuts.
Yeah.
For Coco.
In fairness, Moss did catch the pass, the touchdown to give the Patriots the lead in that Super Bowl against the Giants. So
respect. What was his stats on that?
I'm pretty sure he had a good day.
Okay, well, pretty sure doesn't exactly prove your point.
Like, I think he had like 7. Let me look it up.
Okay. While you do that, we're going to go to our G. Burbick Farm. What's your beef? Guys, don't forget, head out to G. Burbick Farm. They got a sale right now on 50 pounds of ground beef to get you through the winter. Hopefully. It's so good, you might need a couple boxes. So make sure you sign up now. Let's go.
Responded back. How much was it?
Because he's working right now. He should be. He's probably packing my 50-pound box of meat. Let's go down to Scotty Mincher.
Boxes.
No, 1 box. 2 boxes if you admit that Antonio Brown's better than Randy Moss.
He's not.
Then you get 1 box. Scotty Mincher, what's your beef?
my beef today is people in Ohio in this area. If you want to get more specific, is people. The first day it snowed a few days ago and snow's on the ground. Everybody's complaining, but nobody made a post. All these nice days we've had every year. Oh, what a beautiful day it is outside. They're always thinking about, like, oh, it's snowing. The snow, like, it's Ohio, people. What do you expect? If you don't like it that bad, move away from here. And then another thing is just these Browns fans that are trying to drag me down even more. Like, yeah, we're 5-3, but who have we played? Who have we beat? And my point is the Browns are 5-3. They're 5-3, and they're the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it could be worse.
It's about to get worse. Just wait.
You're up there, Prince of Darkness.
So Randy Moss had 5 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Pretty good.
He also went 2 for 41 in the Super Bowl with the Niners.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be my beef. My beef is just the ridiculousness of the Antonio Brown is the greatest wide receiver to ever play with having, 7 seasons? I mean, it's just longevity alone is not going to do it. A potential alone, as a Cleveland Browns fan, we know all about potential and where potential takes us. Nowhere. In fact. Okay? So that's that.
Well, I mean, one of them is living up to his potential, and the other one just hasn't.
Yeah, Baker is living up to his potential. He's an average quarterback. He has been his whole life. So that's why he never got a scholarship. He was an average quarterback.
I thought you were talking about the whole team. I apologize. I didn't know you were going after Baker Mayfield again. We'll try to get him on the show and rebut. Quinn, you're up.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
You wouldn't have the balls.
Yes, I would.
I would love to see that. Let's see. How do I want to word this? My beef is specifically with one turd but I guess it could be everybody now. If you think you can beat me in basketball, I coach in a high school, and I do that for a living, I guess, is basketball. I will be here at YSN. Bring a ball. I have balls in my trunk. I'll play you.
Who challenged you?
I will play you there. I do not care. I will beat you. I will literally run the table on you. I don't care. It could be anybody. I'll throw Coach Snyder in there now since I'm going to be discussing that with him in about an hour.
Yeah,
But
was the number
there
one.
is another card that can't beat me, never will beat me, ever. I will win.
Well, Quinn, that was a fantastic response. We're going to go on to Jamie Thompson
And that's
now.
the other thing. My name is not hard to pronounce at all.
Quinn Puskar.
It's a simple name.
Puskahar. Let's going to go to Jamie Thomason.
Hey, Q, can I send a representative? I'll send Tyler Lovelace over there to take you on. Does
Bring
that
it
work?
down. I know Loveless. I love Loveless.
Yeah, I know. He told me.
So, Quinn, I would whoop you.
I guess my beef. I was thinking about this last night, kind of laying there. I was up till 2 a.m. Everybody was, but I don't like Twitter anymore, man. I hate Twitter. I use Twitter as kind of like a sports outlet. I'm like a wannabe any of those Twitter guys, but it's just on there and it's all hate, man. It is all hate, and it sucks to see. I really have nothing else to say besides that. Twitter sucks. Go ahead, follow the Twitter handle right there. Twitter's terrible, man. It's all hate. I left a review on the App Store. I was like, I've never done that before, but I literally found it within myself to be like, this is so toxic and terrible. What is happening? I can't do it. Twitter sucks.
Coach Seidel saying, my beef today is with pin oaks. Things hold their leaves longer than any other tree. I just want to finish leaf cleanup. All right, that's welcome to adulting in 2020. Muncie, what do you have?
Shade at me.
What?
Why's your mom throwing shade at me for running?
Well, she's probably just trying. I mean, you do talk a big game, but this is one I've got your back.
Right now, I'll play you too. Basketball's the only thing.
You want to run another race?
No, basketball.
All right, shut your mouth.
Basketball.
Oh, sorry, I don't need to bring that up again. Muncie.
Yeah, mine is it's a rehash of just the beef that we've all had in the past, and it just keeps bringing itself up. And it's with this organization that runs high school sports in Ohio. I mean, this whole Fortress thing that they're going to have everybody go play at later this month is just ridiculous. I mean, they're going to run the cross country championships down there too. So they're milking everything. My wife, gotta love her. But like, it's so obvious what they're doing, and they'll never come out and say we do it for the money, because they keep saying we do it for the kids, we do it for the safety of this, we do it for that, and it's like you're not. Everything, like you said earlier, DJ, it's your actions are showing otherwise. You're in it for the money. You did it this year for the money. You're going to continue to do it for money, and it's just like it's ridiculous. And I just getting tired of it. And I wish that sometimes somebody would stand up and do something about it, because until that time, they're going to keep doing exactly what they're doing. They're going to keep raking the fans, raking the schools, raking the communities, and not care a bit about it, and fill their fat pockets up and go, thanks, everybody. Love you. Here's some chocolate milk. I mean,
got it?
Done.
Attaboy. Before I get to my beef, I want to thank our sponsors down at the bottom: Isynergy, Nightline, K-Squared Marketing, Myers Family Insurance, Clientele, Greenwood, as well as G. Burbick Farms, Channel 21 WFMJ. Hang on. I want to make sure I get this right. WRS Insurance Solutions, Joe Dickey Electric, and Baird Brothers. Thank you guys so much. We don't get a whole lot of time to thank you because things have been going fast. We're in overtime here. Here's my beef, and it goes a little something like this. It is basically, it's been an interesting week here at YSN. There's been a lot of things that have been said or not said, and there's been a lot of shoveling, and there's been a lot of dirt putting on. It's all behind us, right? Water under the bridge. We're trying to turn a page, but ownership is big here. Being able to take on a level of accountability, and if you do something that's it is what it is. You take ownership of it. Don't duck. Don't like I'm not. We don't have offices here. Don't duck me. You know what I mean? Like, let's hash things out like grown-ups, like proper people, and go from there. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm giving someone an opportunity to do something special. To be, when we put you on these shows, it's not by accident. So the reality of the situation is at least have the common courtesy to face your problems head on. I don't care if it's from a leadership standpoint. I don't care if it's from a work standpoint. A lot of YS Nation watches this during work as they get ready. If you've got issues, take them on head on, right? Like, don't duck it. Go after it. You got dreams, go after them. It's the same thing. We're trying to inspire people. We're trying to give them a platform. We're not going to do different things internally. You know, we're not going to shy away from things. The way that we come off is the way that we are. So at the end of the day, for us, what you see is what you get. If we're brash, if we're the kind of people that are going to come at you, we're going to come at you with a hug, or we're going to come at you with a flying Dutch elbow from the top rope, because that's who we are. So my end all be all is get on the bus or get the hell off of it. So you're either buying into YSN, you're buying into us, or don't. We've got plenty of fans. We love them. We love each and every one of them. We've got plenty of talent. We're getting more every day. More talent, and I mean that. That is a proper word for it. Talent. We are getting more fans that love what we do and want to be behind a microphone, in front of a camera, and do this because that's who we are. Billy Mack with a great idea yesterday. We are YSN. We are your sports network. We represent you. We won't do anything to disturb you. So on the bus or off, punch your ticket and either get on or pull the cord and get the hell off, because I'm tired of it. We're not dealing with that. Get on, because we're going to the moon. Let's go. That is your G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef, brought to you by G. Burbick Farms. Visit them on New Buffalo Road, like I'm going to in about 25 minutes, here on the YSN Power Hour, and proud sponsor. And there you see it behind Quinn of the G. Burbick Farms. It Just Tastes Better Studio. There it is, this beautiful steel sign Greg is in love with. So thank you to, again.
That's a sign, not a table.
I hate your guts. I just hate them. Coach Seidel saying, reliable sources tell me Quinn doesn't want the smoke.
Coach, I'll come out to Sebring right now.
I don't think you want that smoke.
I don't think you want that smoke.
You want to?
I don't think you would have very good.
Versus Coach Seidel.
It's for the championship on the world.
It's a one-on-one situation.
We have it live. We're here. All right,
Beard
that's going to do it.
Versus Junior Beard.
Oh, yeah, Coach Seidel cut his beard. So he's the junior beard now.
Oh.
I believe I saw that in a picture. So I don't know. Their beard powers are gone, Coach. We're going to have to talk about that. We'll get Coach Seidel on officially after the season. What was that noise? Scotty. That's all Scotty.
Yep.
Scotty, wake up. It didn't get you today. All right, that's going to do it for the Power Hour. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's NFL Pick'em Thursday right here on the YSN Power Hours. You got the Zeke. The beard lives. The beard lives. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.